Hey y'all, it's Jen for the Love of Iris, and welcome to another one of our 31 Days of Halloween. Today's project is this one, and it is using the Sweet Baby Bear and Boo for You and Jar of Haunts. And you will not believe the paper pack that this is. This is the Warmth and Cheer Christmas paper pack from the new catalog. So it has wonderful, beautiful Christmas papers in it with gorgeous trees and beautiful plaids. But it's got some wonderful, delightful Dijon in it, some gorgeous grays and blacks, things that could be used for all kinds of different things. This doesn't necessarily have to be Christmas either. So, and I actually pondered this one, and I almost used it, but I decided not to. So maybe I'll use it on another one of our Halloween projects. We've got a couple more left. So let's get started on this project here. We will need, first off, a card base, 4¼ by 11, scored at 5½. We'll make a card base for us. Okay, and then we will need a piece of designer series paper, which in this case is going to be the stars in the Delightful Dijon from the Warmth and Cheer, which is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I also used one of the spiderweb doilies. I'll link to the clearance section. I'm not sure if they're still available, but that's where I got them. And they were still available in the clearance section, so I'll see if they're still available. But I'll link down there to them. The Boo for You die set, which is still available. I know, I think it's like 12 bucks. It's ridiculous, and I love it. I'm just going to use the Boo in there, cut out of basic black cardstock, and I've already actually cut one out to save us some time. Couple pieces of cardstock. I've got a basic black piece of cardstock. It's a 1 1/8 wide, and I've got it 6 inches long. We're not going to need it that long, but I've got it that long just so I can cut it down. Basic gray is a 1/2 inch wide, however long, and the pattern paper is 7/8 of an inch wide, and again, we're going to cut the length down after we banner it. So let's get started. First thing we want to do is let's do our pumpkin. We're going to get some shimmer white cardstock because we are going to use our watercolor. And I'm going to use Tangerine Tango as my ink for this. And actually, let me flip this around because I'm going to do it right on this side here. Tangerine Tango here. So, excellent. And then I'm going to stamp the top with markers because I want the stem brown and the leaf green. So I have the top of the stem, and I'm using Old Olive and chocolate chip markers, and I'm just going to color, let me see, I'm just going to color the leaf in Old Olive, and the stem in chocolate chip. And then huff on that to re-moisturize the marker. Line that up and stamp. Okay. All right. And then we will color that in. And I don't like the way that that's stamped, so I'm going to connect that down a little bit more. And I'm going to color this in with the marker right here down at the bottom, just to give it a little bit of a base. And then I'm going to get my water brush out. I've got my chocolate chip ink. I've got my Tangerine Tango ink. And I've got my Old Olive ink. The Old Olive is not going to take much, so I'll go ahead and do that first. And I'm just using the aqua brush. And it doesn't matter to me if I color outside the lines because I am going to be cutting this out. I just want to lay down a little bit of color on this leaf and a tiny bit of shadow down towards the base of the stem. And then I'm going to get a rag and wipe off the color when I change it. Okay. And then I'm going to get some chocolate chip and I'm going to highly concentrate it down here at the bottom because I want it to get lighter as we go up. And see, even though we didn't stamp that very well, it was a little crooked, it's actually quite salvageable. And if your aqua brush gets a little dry, just squeeze it and make sure that the water's flowing out on your hand first before you take the water to your paper so you don't have a big old mucky mess. Okay, so there we go. That's good on that one. We'll get rid of the chocolate chip. Okay. And then we are going to pick up our Tangerine Tango. Now I just want a light wash first. Okay, and then I'm going to come back in with some more color toward the top and the left side for shading. Because this is going to be the actual top of the little bear, the head of it. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to set that aside to dry before I cut it out. And I've actually cut one out already that I'm going to use for his body. So all I need to do now is stamp on the little jack-o'-lantern. And I actually chose the Cajun Craze for that because I didn't want it to be black. I didn't want it to be too much of a contrast. So Cajun Craze is just a little bit darker than Tangerine Tango. And I thought that it was just enough contrast. Oh, I have made a mess of that, haven't I? Yep, well, that's all right. It'll be fine. Didn't realize I had gotten ink everywhere. That's okay. Okay, now let's stamp our baby bear while our pumpkin's drying. For our baby bear, we're going to use 3 different colors. We're going to start with the lightest ink, which for me is going to be Sahara Sand. Okay. And the full image, the one that has the most, the least amount of detail, the full, most solid image. Okay. And again, this is Sahara Sand for me. I'm going to turn this around. Okay, and I'm going to stamp that. Got a hair or something on it. I can't get it off. Hold on, I gotta get this hair out or it's gonna drive me mad. Did I get it? Yeah. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. All right, so Sahara Sand on the first one. Stamp it down. And just hold it down for a few seconds to let the ink penetrate the paper. Perfect. Okay, and then next we are going to use Crumb Cake. And this is the second most solid image. It's got a little bit of detail, but not a lot. And we're going to use Crumb Cake with that. And the best way I've found to work with Baby Bear is to line up his little bottom and these two little armholes. So if you line up his bottom and the two armholes, you'll get it right every time. That looks right. And again, this is crumb cake. Very nice. Okay, and my third color is going to be chocolate chip. And that is going to be with the most detailed stamp. And that's going to be the one that has the least amount of solid image. So that's chocolate chip, and it's the one that has the most little dots, I guess. I don't know. It's the one you can see the face in the most. Okay, and then line up his bottom and his little armholes. And stamp him down. And there he is. He's a cute little fella. I like him. I wasn't sure about this set when it first came out. It was all the rage. Everybody loved it. Oh, I have to have Baby Bear. I have to have Baby Bear. And I thought, I'm not really going to use Baby Bear. I don't plan on having any children. Most of the people in my life have already had children. I don't really see myself using that stamp set very much. And then I got to thinking about all the different ways I could use it and the different ways he's versatile, and I had to have him. So I went ahead and jumped on the Baby Bear bandwagon. So he's actually quite simple to cut out. And when you fussy cut, the best way to fussy cut is to just move your paper and not your scissors. Just keep your scissors relatively straight. Most people, we know this as crafters, but some people who are new to crafting may not know it. But if you just keep your scissors straight and move your paper, it's so much easier. Okay, and I'll just do this as quickly as I can, because like I said, he's very easy to cut out. He's got a lot of straight lines here, which I assume is why they didn't have a punch or a die set to go with him, because he's not very tough at all. And I'm going to leave the center of his arms there, the white part there, because I'm going to just cover it up with the pumpkin. So I'm not really concerned about that either. Okay. Yeah, see? That's quick and cute. Look how sweet he is. I mean, and he is a realistic teddy bear. That is just stunning. He is just as realistic as he can be. Okay, now let's go ahead and cut out our pumpkin. And I actually just need this top part here. So I'm not even going to be concerned about the bottom. I'm just going to cut it away and bring back in our pumpkin bottom. And I'm going to cut this just ever so slightly around. Again, moving my paper. I'm not really concerned about getting it pristine. It's Halloween, and Halloween cards can be messy. We're not really concerned about it. If you want it to be extra special, clean, and crisp, you by all means take more time than I am. But when I fussy cut, unless I want something to be extremely precise, when it comes to this kind of stuff in Halloween and you know, the aura of Halloween, I don't particularly care. Okay, now with him, I thought that line was a little bit too blunt, so I took my Tangerine Tango ink pad here and I just kind of rubbed this in here to just kind of give it a little bit of an edge so that it wasn't so blunt there. You could have took a sponge dauber or a regular sponge and done that, but I just didn't want to pull all that stuff out. Look how cute! And now he's a pumpkin bear. Isn't he sweet? I love he. Okay, a little bit of Tombow there on the back of his little pumpkin lid. And that just fits brilliantly on there. A little bit of Tombow glue on the back of his pumpkin here. And that fits brilliantly there. Hey, get back here. I don't know how I did that, but okay. Now, let's build our card base. And it's very simple to do. Just take your, and I'll just use Tombow since I've already got it out, your card, or your designer series paper rather. And we are going to glue it to our card base. And this is heavy Whisper White, the thick Whisper White. I like to use that for all my card bases. If you followed me for any time now, you will know that. And let's go ahead and get our flags out. Come here. Okay. So let's flag our black first, since that's going to be our bottom. And I just cut up the middle and then join the points. If you have the banner, triple banner punch, you can do that. That would be a good thing. I find this is just as easy and quick. And this is the last one. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I want it kind of down here toward the bottom. And I liked the way that looked, kind of lined up like that, and then maybe offset the gray one. You know, something like that. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so let's put some glue on this one, maybe. Okay, and you don't need a lot. Y'all know Tombow, you don't need a lot. And I love how these papers are so versatile. I mean, who would have thought take a Christmas paper pack and use it for Halloween? Okay, and let's take that one like that. Perfect. Okay, and then I think I want it, and it doesn't really matter about here because the spider web is going to cover that up. So I think I wanted it right about there. I'll just use my snips and cut it off. Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll do our glue here. Okay, and glue this down. Looks good. We'll take our spider web. The easiest way I found to do the spider web is just to do it here in the star, and then a couple dots here on the bigger pieces on the outside, like so. And then go back in after you've trimmed it and apply glue to the outside fleur de luises, because you don't know which ones you're going to keep and which ones you're going to trim. And kind of right there, I'm thinking. Let's glue down our baby bear. Again, Tombow. Get some up here on the little trunk. Okay. Stick him down right there. Oh, he's cute. I'm glad I jumped on this bandwagon. Oops, he's a little... I stuck him down too far to the right. He's off of the side of the card, didn't he? Let's see if I can fix it. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, thank you, Tombow. Did y'all see that? Of course you did. Okay. And then let's take our boo and we'll glue it down, and then we'll flip the card over and cut off the spider web. Okay. And if you want to coat that boo with your Wink of Stella, I think that would be adorable. So let's cut this off, just flipping it over and trimming it off with my paper snips to get a nice clean line. Look how cute that is. I love it. Absolutely love it. Are y'all on the baby bear train? Sweet. Okay, thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time. Bye.